Today we just got the worst news possible. Franz Wagner has suffered a torn right oblique. Today we're going to be talking about what this means for the season and the franchise and his career as he will be reevaluated in the next 4 weeks. Guys, welcome into the channel. This is Magic Digest. Please like and subscribe. It is the easiest and best way to support this channel as well as join the family here on YouTube. We're trying to build an Orlando Magic basketball community here, and we are suffering, so this is kind of a safe space for us Magic fans because I cannot believe that this happened. Let's take a look at the initial report. This comes from Shams, so you know it's real and you wish it was fake. Franz Wagner suffers the exact same injury as Paolo Banchero did just a little over a month ago. This is crazy. I have never seen, and let me know if I'm wrong in the comment section below, 2 star players suffering the same exact injury. Maybe so specific too. Not a knee injury, not an ankle injury, but a torn right oblique injury in the same season. And like I mentioned, he will be reevaluated in 4 weeks. So we will see potentially by the new year or a week into the new year if Franz Wagner will be able to hit the court again to hopefully join Paolo Banchero. Guys, I made a video a handful of days ago talking about Paolo Banchero's return to the court, and now ironically I'm talking about Franz Wagner's leaving the court and going to the training and rehab portion of the organization and their facilities for practice. I don't know, maybe we're doing something at practice that we need to reel back or something's going on here, but this is terrible. But let's talk about what Franz has been doing for the Orlando Magic. He's been undisputedly if that's even a word, the best player for the Orlando Magic since Paolo Banchero has went down. He's averaging 24.4 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists. He was putting together an all-star worthy season, and I had even made a video saying that he was all NBA level. He has more 30-point games than Shea, LeBron, Kyrie, Wemby, Steph, Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, and Damian Lillard. The guy was on a tear this year. There was a portion of November where he was averaging over 30 points. He had a sick era, if you will, when Paolo Banchero went down that potentially could have cost him the Eastern Conference Player of the Month award that I just talked about, that he lost out to Jason Tatum to. There was easily an argument that he was the best player in the Eastern Conference, and probably if the Orlando Magic were winning at an extremely high level right now, not the highest in the NBA, but if they were winning at that top level, because right now they're 16-9, he could have been early MVP talks. There was no stopping this season. There was no obvious ceiling for Franz. He was clearly one of the best players in the Eastern Conference and the best player on the Orlando Magic. So cannot stress how awful this injury is, and where are we going to pick up the pieces? I don't even know. But let's take a look at the rest of this season going forward. This is the schedule over through January. So I'd say over about 8 weeks or so. We're just ballparking that. Not fully 8 weeks here, but we got Phoenix. Milwaukee is the Cup game. Oklahoma City. Both of those games on TNT, or at least slotted to be on TNT. Maybe they move a game just like they did the Knicks game when Paolo Banchero went down. Who knows? But that Milwaukee game's a Cup game, so that's probably solidified. You got NBA TV, Minnesota later on, and then Boston on ESPN. Of course, it's Boston. It's January 17th. See, we were looking at Paolo Banchero coming back right around December 28th against Miami, or December 23rd against Boston right before Christmas. Hopefully that stays in line. He's kind of now getting back into a little bit of a routine, stepping back out on the court. That happened maybe 6 days ago now. Hopefully that Christmas time, and we can weather the storm against Phoenix, the Bucks, OKC, Miami before Paolo Banchero comes back. Now it almost feels like it might be a little bit of a rush to get him back, but the team has built a bit of a cushion. They have a 3.5 game lead ahead of Milwaukee for the 6th seed, so they're not really too close to getting into the play-in or too much in danger of that. But we'll have to see exactly how this team takes on the next couple of games, because that lead could definitely get smaller, especially since they play Milwaukee very soon. But at least they get to be home for a decent stretch of these games. As we know, the Magic are 9-0 at home, and they play their best basketball at home, and they're 7-9 away. I don't really know if that is going to matter right now, because we are without our 2 best players, but this team and Coach Mosley, who I also mentioned had a shot at Coach of the Month, will have to adjust. We'll have to adjust. Here's the depth chart right now. Got Jalen Suggs, KCP. This is a little bit of a messy depth chart, but this is what ESPN has it as. Jalen Suggs and KCP are the starting backcourt, essentially. And Franz, you got at the 3 there at small forward, Wendell Carter Jr., Bataze at the center. He's probably going to stick there. Wendell Carter Jr. is definitely going to stick there for right now. I'd imagine De Silva just moves into that starting lineup. De Silva was not exactly the most aggressive player over the last handful of games and had some pretty poor showings, but he's going to have to step up. This team has shown to trust him, though. So I do think that he can fill some of the load, but we're going to need Jalen Suggs now to average 20. And we need KCP to not have a garbage game like he did last night and actually play some good basketball consistently. He had a couple games there where he was averaging 19 points for us. He needs to just continue to do that. Truthfully, he needs to sit right around 13 points per game if we're going to have to adjust here. Also, Anthony Black, welcome in. You are going to now be the third guard in this rotation, probably handle the ball a lot more, and be probably the leading facilitator on this team because Franz Wagner was that guy. Before him, it was Paolo Banchero, and right now, maybe Jalen Suggs might not be able to handle that, especially without the 2 franchise guys. So welcome in. You're going to have to pass the ball more. Also, Cole Anthony, welcome to the NBA season, circa 24-25. You have been terrible. You need to start playing better. Jett Howard, welcome into the rotation. Jonathan Isaac, hopefully what kept you out against the 76ers does not keep you out for longer. Also, Mo Wagner, fortunately, I know your brother's out, but you've been the best and most consistent player on the bench. Keep doing your thing. Shout out Mo Wagner. He's been playing super well. The front court seems to be okay. The bigger part of the front court. So the power forward and center position seem to still be pretty locked down. Gary Harris, I mean, I don't know if he's like what he's planning on doing or if that's going to be a player that we see in the rotation come anytime soon. Hopefully, we can get this stuff done without relying on a guy like Gary Harris. He didn't play against the 76ers, still the hamstring injury going on. I'm looking at anything else. Maybe I don't really see Corey Joseph or Caleb Houston getting any more minutes because of this type of injury. We're just going to have to rock with what we got in that starting 5, and I think we can. I think we can stay above water, at least against some of the poor teams in the NBA. If we take a look at the distribution of statistics for this team, obviously Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero are leading the team in points. We're going to need that number from Jalen Suggs to go up a little bit more. And also, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is going to have to get into the double digits. And Anthony Black, like I said, he's been dishing the rock a little bit, averaging 4 assists on the year. He might end up having to be that leading assist guy, like truthfully, for this team if Jalen Suggs cannot get into that facilitator role. A lot of decisions, a lot of questions that Jamahl Mosley's going to have to make and answer. I'm very worried about this team. This is probably the worst luck I have seen for the Orlando Magic in a very long time. We know that we've had injury luck or bad injury luck. We know that we've had issues with some sort of player development or training staff stuff going on over the last handful of years. I remember it was like hit and miss every single draft pick, or hit or miss. Every single draft pick would either be healthy and they would just be bad, or they would be decent when they were out on the court and or not ever be out on the court, essentially, right? Like they wouldn't be able to play enough and they would just be injured all the time, and that was their Achilles heel. So you were either out on the court and you were bad, or off of it and can never get back on it, and when we really wanted you to get back out there. So this is really unfortunate. I don't know what's going on. I've never, and I'm going to keep reiterating this, I have never seen 2 players on the same team as the 2 focal points for the franchise suffered the same injury that was this specific before. I have not seen this. This is awful luck, and obviously maybe there's something more to it, but unfortunately this Magic team is going to have to pivot and move for the rest of December, because this is going to be a rough month potentially. But I think they can adjust. It sucks that they got the Suns and the Bucks and the Thunder coming up, and the Heat are playing pretty decent basketball and sandwich in the Celtics in between those games, as well as the Knicks. Whew. Well, I don't know what I'm saying. Luckily, we got Coach Mosley. That's a tough schedule. I may be looking more towards January when you get the Pistons, Raptors, Jazz, and you end the month of December with the Nets. That's where you could see getting back those games, right? Yeah, if you can win a couple of those games in December, maybe you go on a little bit of a win streak into the new year, and then maybe by that point we got Paolo Banchero back into the fold. This is rough. I was saying a lot of the times I was bringing you guys good news. I'm bringing you guys bad news. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Just air it out. It's a safe space in the comments today, y'all. But I think that's all the time I got for today. I think that's everything that we've covered that we know so far. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time, hopefully with some more good news and more upbeat Orlando Magic basketball content.